Hello, welcome back to Sariel and the Sword of Azathoth, the series where I use Mythic Game Master Emulator combined with U.com and Scarlet Heroes to create a fantasy RPG story inspired by Indiana Jones. This is the end of the flashback scene, and I will keep the chaos stable. Now we're going into scene 7, and chaos is still at 8. So with that, we arrive at the scene we've been building up from the beginning, the party scene. But before we really get into it, I'm wondering, did Sariel get a dancer's disguise? Because if you remember, in the last episode, when Sariel was looking at the house, she saw that dancers were like camping in front of the house because they were preparing to, give some performances during the party. So she was thinking, oh, maybe I can steal a disguise or buy some kind of disguise in the city to then have an easier access to the house. So I think the chances are about 50-50. She could not want to steal the outfit or think it's not a good idea or fail to do so. So let's see. We need, since it's Chaos 8, we need to have 85 and under to get the disguise. So it should be pretty easy. Very good roll. This is a 6. So this is an exceptional yes. So the way I imagine this, the morning of the party, Sariel goes out. She goes to the camp of the dancers while they're still asleep. She sneaks into one of the tents, and from one of the trunks, she steals a very nice dancer's disguise. I don't know, and I have in mind some kind of belly dancer, or maybe that's kind of kitschy and cliched, but some kind of really ornate, kind of puffy, but kind of revealing outfit. And she figures, okay, how can I hide my identity a little bit better? So I imagine she would then go out during the day, and she either bought a really ornate mask, or maybe a really ornate veil that she can put on, so it'll be a lot harder to see past her disguise. So I had two possibilities in mind, and since we got the disguise, we'll be able to do the a little bit more clever one. So as the party is starting, I expect Sariel will try to sneak in just as the dancers kind of start doing their thing. And it's funny, I imagine almost everyone gathered in the garden or in the main hall of the house, and then the dancers kind of coming along, starting to entertain the guests. So that's gonna be the perfect time for her to enter. But this will only happen if we get a 9 or a 10, because now I have to test for the scene how it starts. If we get anything lower than that, it's gonna throw a wrench in my plans. So let's see. That is a 4, so it's not gonna cut it. And that's an interrupt scene. Oh boy, the last thing I wanted. So now, of course, I have to throw a D100 to see what kind of interruption this is gonna be. This is a 50. So, NPC positive. NPC positive means that I'm gonna need to list all of the relevant non-player characters and then choose at random which one has something positive happening to them. So let's see, who do we have? This is the list I came up with. Hopefully I didn't leave out anyone that could be relevant. So 1. Sam Salazar, 2. Dario, 3. The head servant, 4. The guards, 5. The dancers, 6. The guests, 7. The store manager, because why not, maybe he's at the party as well, and 8 would be the contest winner, because it surely wasn't us. So now I will throw a 1d8, so we'll know who gets a positive outcome. I got a 1, so it's Sam Salazar. I feel like I don't have enough to invent what it could be, so I will use a meaning table to generate 2 keywords to help me out. This is gonna be the action keywords. So here's my first roll. 46 and 4. 46 is free and 4 is animal. That sounds kind of cool. Sariel arrives near the house, still wearing her everyday clothes, a knife as her only weapon. For the moment, she is just there to get a feeling for what's happening, and when she finds an opportune moment, she'll change into her seductive attire. Meanwhile, Marcus will be spending the night at a nearby tavern, ready to leave in a hurry once Sariel has accomplished her mission. Looks like it's time for the first guests to arrive. She sees a short, rotund man wearing an ornate turban coming up to the gate, followed by a dozen servants.
My dear friend, where is he?
He asks the guard in front of the gate. Shortly after that, she finally catches a glimpse of Sam Salazar. He is taller than the other man, but no less ample of belly. He has long mustachios, and he wears a long robe glittering with gemstones. The men proceed to hug each other while exclaiming how happy they are to see one another. Eventually, the shorter man has his servant bring a gift. Now I wonder, is the animal being gifted a predator? Like, is it a tiger or something like that? Or is it gonna be something a little bit less dangerous like a monkey or a bird or that kind of stuff? I think it's probably unlikely that it's a predator. But since we're on Chaos 8, it's still pretty likely in the odds. So I have to get 75 and under for it to be a predator. The servants wheel one of their wagons closer to the entrance gate. It seems like a cage is nestled inside. Sariel can't really see the contents from her vantage point, but she soon hears Sam exclaiming,
"A tiger! Vidic, you are too kind!"
Sariel can't help but laugh when she sees the famed Sam Salazar giddy like a schoolboy in front of this big animal. I will end this little interrupt scene there, and I will start a new little scene just when Sariel enters. So I think we'll get a little bit less chaos, because so far it's not going too bad. That tiger coming into their home, it's more chaos for them than for me, potentially. I don't think Sariel will unleash a tiger on people that easily, but as a last ditch, maybe. So now we go to scene 8 at Chaos 7. With this scene, I expect that all the guests have now arrived, and the feast is starting. So it's time for the dancers to come and provide entertainment. Now, on another note, if you remember, in the first episode, we generated a list of all the rooms that are in Sam Salazar's home. I have since made this little exterior building outline, which is very basic. up here is the house proper, and down there is the inner garden. That's the above, and that's the ground floor. So once we'll be inside the house, I'll just kind of, either ask questions or go with common sense to say in which room we are situated. I expect that the room we seek, which will be either a kind of office or a kind of treasure room, it's gonna be upstairs. Going back to our expected scene. With this scene, I expect all the guests have now arrived and the feast is starting. So it's time for the dancers to enter and provide entertainment, and maybe there would be people playing music as well. It's a big thing. So I need to have an 8, a 9, or a 10 for things to go exactly as expected. Hallelujah! It's a 10! Yes, finally something going as planned. Sariel sneaks into the house by walking right behind the other dancers. Although she's not exactly a beauty, she's very fit, and the outfit is flattering to her toned body. Thus, as she enters the inner garden, she attracts quite a few looks from the men chatting there. She also notices the tiger has been moved into the shade of a large palm tree, and his cage is flanked by the luxuriant foliage and beautiful flowers that fill the garden. So as you can see, I'm starting to put some locations and notes on the diagram. So for the moment, we have the tiger in the inner garden, and then beyond there is the entrance hall and the dining room. But for the moment, as Sariel enters, I'm wondering if she crosses paths with Dario, because he's supposed to be one of the guests, so it's quite likely. But I'll say it's 50-50, because hey, maybe he's already stealing something. So I will need 75 and under to cross paths with Dario. That was a 59. Therefore, we do. Therefore, I'm gonna see if I can see past my disguise. Sariel is gonna have to make a charisma check. But I'm gonna give her +2 because she has a really good disguise. And Dario is gonna have to do a wisdom check against a roll. He doesn't get any bonuses because his skills are to disguise himself, not to see through disguises. So no bonus for him. So sadly, Sariel only gets a 5. Now, let's see what Dario gets. Wow. He got a 10. So I failed to disguise myself from him. As Sariel enters the entrance hall, she sees Dario wearing another silk robe, chatting with a guard. At first, he seems not to notice her, but he does a double take and looks at her with surprise.
"Come here, my fair lady,"
he says. Sariel tries to imitate the dance-like manner by which the dancers move about the house, but it comes off a little bit awkward. Yet, Dario feigns not to notice anything.
"Well, gracious you are. You are as gracious as you are fair,"
he says as he kisses her hand. Sariel gets flushed in anger and mixed feelings as he does so. But this must come off as blushing because the guard promptly excuses himself as if to give the duo some space. Dario takes her closer as if he was trying to kiss her neck, and he whispers,
"Do you see the guards in this room? They are here and up the stairs. If we work together, I know how to get past them.
So we have a big choice, a turning point, a fork in the road. Will Sariel go along with Dario? I think it's unlikely. I will not factor in the chaos for this role. I could see it go both ways, because frankly it's gonna be hard to get past the guards. And Dario seems to have a plan to do just that. So, you know, logically she might accept, but at the same time she doesn't like him very much. So let's see what she's gonna do. I'll leave it up to the dice. Sariel forces herself not to throw an insult at him. Instead, she backs up just a little bit. Then, with a curtsy, she says,
My lord will need to find someone else for that.
Then she goes on to the dining hall as if nothing happened. So with that, I'm ending the scene here. The chaos will remain stable, and we'll know more about what happens in the party in the next episode. But we're definitely not taking the easy road, because it would have been a lot easier if we had Dario on our side, even just for a few actions. Now I'm gonna have to find a way for Sariel to do it all by herself. So that's gonna be interesting. In the next episode, we'll finish this arc, we'll finish the party, and hopefully we'll have the scroll. And then we can move on to further adventure, to the true object of this campaign, which is finding the Sword of Azathoth. How will the scroll connect with that? It's probably pretty obvious. But still, we gotta find it first. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment and a like. I would really appreciate it. If you want to make a suggestion, or just tell me what you like, what you don't like as much. Give me ideas. Anything, really. And so I will be seeing you in the next episode. Have a good one. Bye.